Good morning and good evening, all. Thank you for joining us today. Today, I will speak about the industry specific problem and how Microsoft Fabric will solve those problems. Today's webinar agenda: industry challenges impacting business outcomes, introduction to Microsoft Fabric, why customers are migrating Fabric, strategic business outcomes and with Fabric and how it works, recommended adoption roadmap. I will put the Q&A at the end. And coming to my introduction, hello all, I am Raju. I represent Rebistech, and coming to the Rebistech introduction. Rebistech is CMMI level 3 company. We we focus on data-driven AI, cloud, and analytics platform. We position ourselves as a technology partners, not just software vendors. Yeah. So industry challenges impacting business outcomes, rising data volumes. Every customer is acquiring huge amount of data through various platforms. Either it could be SaaS platforms, IoT events, third-party data, and there are fragmented tools. For example, you have SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata as the OLTP transaction databases, and you have one more OLAP database that could be any database, and you have in between you have an ETL tool. It could be either SIS, Informatica, or Alteryx. I'm just naming a few as examples. And coming to the analytical tools, there are SSRS, Tableau, Power BI. So the data is getting moved from multiple. The data is getting moved from source to destination, and then the Power BI and analytical tools will be refreshed. This directly impacts the delayed decision making, as the data from source has to ETL to the target. Depends on the cadence, the jobs will run, and then only the other reports will be refreshed. This increase in cost pressure. For example, you have SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata, SSIS, Informatica, Alteryx. You have a target database, and you have analytical tools like SSRS or Tableau or Power BI. You need to pay license for all the individual vendors. Yeah, coming to introduction to Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is a unified platform for analytics, and it covers all the data engineering, data science, real-time analytics, Power BI, all stitched together. And the core of Fabric is a OneLake unified platform for OneLake, one governed data foundation. This gives you the business value and the ROI. In the seamless transition part, I will talk in the later slides. Yeah. And coming to the Fabric architecture overview, it has data factory, Synapse data engineering, Synapse data science, and you have real-time analytics, Power BI as well. For example, take an example of a lifts generating IoT. For example, if the lift is generating the event, like its temperature is high, it's most likely it will stop working. So as soon as the data comes onto the OneLake, the real-time analytics will be processed using a Kushko query language, and the Power BI reports will be refreshed. So there will be no delay in processing of the data. And you have a feature called anomaly detection. As soon as the IoT event has been generated as mechanical failure, anomaly detection will automatically detect it and then generate an email or a text message on our Teams. So why customers are moving to Fabric? Instead of having the multiple sources and multiple targets and different BI tools, uh, you have SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata. You have SSIS, Informatica or Alteryx. You have one more OLEP database, and you have uh, SSRS reports and Tableau or Power BI. So these the data is getting moved from multiple places. This creates data silos and data duplicacy, and you are paying much higher data storage cost as well. So as Fabric is a unified platform for analytics, and OneLake will act as a single source of truth, meaning there is no data movement across systems. All it happens is accelerate insight to action is all it happens because the data is not moving anywhere. Instead, the data is being shared by multiple teams, and in that way you can have accelerate insight to action, and you can actually optimize the analytical sprints and future-proof data strategy. As as OneLake runs on two source of truth with AI abilities, strategic business outcomes with Fabric. So 20 to 30% of cost optimization is already achieved as you are eliminating the legacy infrastructure and the licensing cost. There is faster executive reporting. As OneLake reads as a single source of truth, the reporting refresh will be very fast. And as OneLake will be also giving you the instead of having multiple sources, instead of moving data from one place to another place and then to other place, the data is stored in OneLake, and the in that way you can trust the data as it is a single source of truth, and business users can actually take help of AI driven decisions. So how does Fabric delivers value? The capacity is shared across the teams, and the unified storage OneLake acts as a source of truth, a single source of truth, role-based workloads. All the workloads can be distributed across data engineering, data analysts, data scientists, business users, and there's a built-in AI assistance as well. Power BI and Azure ecosystem. With Power BI, you need not dismantle your existing investments. The Power BI can still be there, can still point to Fabric, and you have the Synapse and Data Factory compatible that is already available in Fabric. And on-prem where there are over 200 connectors to connect to various different sources of on-premise, and there is a multi-cloud supported as well. For example, if you want to uh, get data that is sitting on AWS S3 bucket, you can simply create a shortcut where where there is no data movement here. It is like Fabric is pointing to AWS S3 bucket, and there is no charge involved here. Yeah, just a second. And also one more Power BI feature it was introduced, the translytical workflows. For example, you have all the industries is facing. Take an example of insurance domain. So a customer has raised a claim. So initially, the insurance agent will dump the data onto some Excel sheet and take a review. I mean, get the reviewer, and the process will be initial data entry will be done, and the reviewer reviews and approves or rejected. All this is happening in Excel sheet or CSV. There are many chances that manual data entry are error prone, or if for some reason that the Excel file is corrupted. So Power BI transactional workflows as it does the same. Basically, it will come up with a form. For example, on insurance claim, you will have claim ID, who has claimed, what is the date of birth, what is gender, other details will be there. And once the insurance agent enters the data in the transactional workflows form, and then he submits the data, it will go and sit on the Fabric table, and then reviewer can review the data And once he approves, either he can reject or approve. Once he approves the form, then it will go to the approvers section. Either it can be rejected or claimed. So basically, it has the data has been the the manual entry has been eliminated, and transitical workflows only work with Microsoft Fabric. Already, many of the customers are already moved on to Unified Analytics Microsoft Fabric. And as per Forrester report, 379% ROI in 3 years. This is not predictable. This is not a predictable number. It is a real number with a business use case, with a real use case. As you are eliminating the legacy cost like the license related to SQL Server, Oracle, or Teradata, and the target database OLAP-DB, and the ETL license are also eliminated, and you are also eliminating the reporting tools of SSRS or Tableau or Power BI. So 1.1 million cost is already eliminated as the legacy cost is eliminated, and 50% productivity gain is achieved here. As an RBT, Real Estate, we have an internal tool called Fabric Data Transformer. We have used the same for many of the clients to ingest the data into Fabric. If anyone wants to know more about it, we'll create a separate session and answer the questions. ROI snapshot for executives. Lower total cost of ownership. As you're eliminating all the legacy softwares and the vendors, the, the cost of ownership will be much lower. And as the unified analytics OneLake is access single source of truth. So there is no data duplicacy or data silos. It acts as a single source of truth, and higher analyst productivity. Yeah, earlier analysts used to spend most of the time in preparing the data. Now he will now instead of spending most of the time on preparing the data, he will now concentrate on insights to action. And as more teams will be joining, the governance will be simplified. Yeah, recommended adoption roadmap. Once the executive alignment is done, basically the executives has to agree on the business value, the ROI, the cost effectiveness. If they are moving on to Fabric, we suggested a phased approach. So initially, if there are 15 business use cases, take one business use case and migrate the data and see the values, see how the data is getting moved onto Fabric and how the analytics are performing. And if you agree on the ROI and the cost factor and business value you see, then you scale with the governance. And for continuous optimization, at times there is a chance that the Fabric capacity goes over 100%, and we have a separate. We have either using a command line interface, we can stop the Fabric consumption. We can set an alert. Like for example, if Fabric capacity is going over 80%, we can set an alert and generate an email to the distribution groups. Yeah. Any questions and answers? No. Yes, and license cost, it all depends on the fabric capacity you are using. We suggest you take an F2 or F4, then start with and then scale accordingly based on business needs. And yeah, it all depends on the use case. Now, how big is your workloads and all. I mean, to start with, I will suggest use F4, F2, and then scale accordingly. And if you have any questions or comments, please put it in comment section, as you have been doing. Others have been doing the same. And if you want any other information, please contact us. Thank you all for attending.